We woke up early on day 3 in preparation for a long walk. Before leaving, I headed to the water. Someone important to me has their ashes scattered in the loch, so I left them some flowers and sat with them for a while. Once the sun was up, we began our walk. Our hostel was right beside Ben Lomond, Scotland's most southerly Monro, a Monro being a Scottish mountain over 3,000 feet. 1 mile done, feeling okay, still trying to figure out how much clothes to wear and regulate my temperature. I think if I get through today, then I'll be more confident of finishing the whole thing. There are so many things to think about with a long distance walk, not least what to wear, down to socks and underwear. What's comfortable for a few miles might be chafe central after 20, and I may have found that out the hard way. The terrain was very similar to the previous evening, lots of undulation and some very narrow paths with steep drops. As well as clothes, you need to think about what to carry and where to put it all. We used a baggage transfer company to transport our big bags to our accommodation, allowing us to carry just a smaller day bag with essentials. We came across our first wild campers on day 3. Until then, I'd seen very few spots that would be suitable for wild camping, but I'm sure those with more experience would do well. The terrain was a lot different from what I was expecting. It was very slippery in places. The path wasn't too busy with other walkers. There were enough to make you feel safe and to have a quick chat if you felt like it. We'd see the same people at different points and ended up giving them little nicknames, but often you could go for a mile or more without meeting anyone else. Stopped for a little break just after 5 miles and quarter of the way in for the day. But yeah, it's tough going. There's lots of up and down and very narrow in places, so you just got to take your time and watch where you step. As we went on, the terrain became more difficult. There were some big rocks and tree roots which required me to do some scrambling. There was definitely some self-doubt creeping in. Feeling a bit apprehensive because this is the longest walk I've ever done, but so far we're keeping good time. I don't want to burn us out too quickly though, because we've still got quite a lot to do. I'm trying to look forward to the fact that tomorrow is a short day. Yeah, I'm probably just not going to film very much today because we need to just keep our heads down, one foot in front of the other, and just get it done. My legs are a bit heavy. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of passing me by. I haven't really appreciated that we're here. Every now and then I'll get this rush of, oh wow, we're actually doing it. But I don't know, and it seems a bit criminal to not stop and look at everything. But we're not sightseeing, we're walking, and that's what we need to try and remember. Whenever people asked me why I was doing this, I'd give them the superficial answer of, I'd always fancied it, it would be a good challenge. But it goes much deeper than that. I've never been an athletic person. At school, I was always the last one picked for games. I was always the one that was told, you can't play with us, you're too slow, you're not good enough, and that never really leaves you. As an adult, I've tried to change that and become more active, but I've had a few setbacks. A few years ago, I fractured my coccyx, which has never fully healed. More recently, I've been struggling with my recovery from COVID, but I really pushed myself. I've taken up some new sports, which, as well as improving my fitness, have totally changed my mindset and given me a renewed determination. I'm doing this to prove to all the people who said I wasn't good enough that they were wrong. I'm doing it to prove to myself that I was wrong. Ooh, goats! Did you know that these goats have been feral since being turned loose during the Highland clearances? Halfway through the day and we stopped for some lunch. Thankfully, the terrain soon changed and it was much kinder underfoot. This is Doom by a bothy. Unfortunately, it was closed, so I couldn't show you inside. A bothy is a small hut or building which is freely available to walkers for shelter or to spend a night. They're usually found in remote places, like on mountains. We had now successfully skirted the entire eastern shore of Loch Lomond, and immediately the scenery changed. Things were beginning to feel more like the Highlands, and the autumn colours were beautiful.
You just wanted to sit down, didn't you?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was very tired and sore by this point. My legs were heavy, my breathing was laboured, and we still had such a long way to go. 16 something miles in, and there's a diversion. I'm ready to just swim across the river. I'm ready to just die. It sounds perverse, but I was thinking, like, at least if I turned my ankle, I wouldn't have to carry on going. Then I started getting jelly legs and the shakes. I felt awful. Our hotel was over a mile off the trail, and it was already getting dark. I didn't have the energy to go on, but Joe forced me. When we got to the hotel, I was violently sick. My feet were soaked, and I even found a leech inside my sock. Was this the end of the road for me? Was all the training and planning for nothing? Was I going to have to stop?